There's a massive study of over 10,000 American millionaires that probably turns everything that you've been taught about wealth building completely on its head. 80% of them didn't inherit a single penny. The top 5 occupations: teachers, accountants, engineers, corporate managers, and attorneys. These are completely ordinary W-2 professionals like you and me who took on average about 28 years of disciplined investing to reach millionaire status. So I'm saying all this to say that you're completely capable of doing this as well. You just have to look at your paychecks a little differently. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to bridge your standard 9-to-5 salary to achieving millionaire status without breaking your neck, and the mistakes to avoid on the way there without ever having to start a business. When you look at those numbers, it forces you to rethink the narrative that's out there. A lot of times, people make it seem like the only way to build wealth is by starting a business, a viral startup, or pulling 80-hour weeks so you can get that seat in the C-suite. But the data proves that wealth building doesn't require all that hoopla. In fact, 53% of these self-made millionaires never earned more than $100,000 in any year of their career. They didn't trade their lives for money, but they were strategic with it and used their means to build wealth. So if you're the first one in your family to build a professional career, like myself, your relationship with a paycheck is a little different. If you grew up like me, child of an immigrant household, being a millionaire, having millions of dollars, that was never a topic at the kitchen table. What was more important for our parents growing up is surviving. You work hard, you pay your bills on time, and you stash whatever is left in savings because cash is safety. Cash is reliable. And this is a beautifully protective mindset. However, saving alone does not build wealth. Investing does. And because investing is not discussed as much in first-generation households, we tend to navigate it completely in the dark. When my mom told me to put money in my 403(b) account, I did it, but I didn't have any idea how to set goals with that money. I was just putting money there because I know I should, but I was doing it kind of haphazardly. And the result of that is, 1, I cashed out my first 403(b), and then 2, amassing about $40,000 over 7 years of my career. Now, I'm not saying if that's all you have in your retirement account, that's terrible, but I want to show you the difference when I started moneying on purpose. By changing my perspective and investing more intentionally, those same accounts grew from the 40K in 2018 to over 540K today. And this was all with just my regular 9-to-5 income. This goes to show you that it's not so much about the income you make that is limiting your potential to become a millionaire. It's more so that you don't have a clear plan that allows you to dream for what's possible for you. Reaching that milestone requires patience, it requires intention, but the reality of it is the way that money multiplies over time makes it so much easier than you might think. Your background, your family history, or the fact that you weren't born into wealth, none of those things change the reality of what you're capable of now. The first real step is allowing yourself to believe that this path belongs to you too. Once you allow yourself to see that this is actually achievable for you, the very next step is taking a hard look at what's happening with your money right now. Because as a higher earning professional woman, you work hard and you make great money, but you may still not be sure exactly where that money's going. This leaves you feeling like you're just working to pay bills, and this makes early retirement or financial flexibility feel like a distant dream. When we feel that kind of confusion about where the money's going, our natural response is to lean into something safe. And for most of us, safety is cash. In fact, studies show that women control over $10 trillion in financial assets, yet we keep a staggering 71% of our money sitting in cash or in a traditional savings account. There's a clear confidence gap where only 53% of women self-identify as investors. We hold on to cash because it gives us safety and comfort. But that comfort comes with a hidden cost. Keeping your money in cash can easily cost you over $1 million in wealth accumulation. Your money is sitting still while inflation quietly chips away at what it can buy. True safety is putting that money to work for you. So to fix this, you don't need to necessarily track every single expense or deprive yourselves of the things you love. But you do need to know where your money might be leaking so that you can redirect it with purpose. This is exactly where a tool like Where My Money Go Calculator fits in. It's a simple way to clear out the noise and figure out where you have spare money so you can put it towards these goals. Because once you know where the money goes, then you can put it to work. You can check out the link in the description for the link to that calculator. Now that you find this spare money, the way you grow it is not by chasing stock tips or trying to time the market. It's simply by the power of compound interest. Think of compound interest like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts off small, but as it gains momentum and speed and distance, it begins getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So to help you map out what this looks like over a 15-year period, financial planners usually use something called the 8-4-3 rule. It breaks the timeline down into 3 distinct phases, so you always know what to expect. The first 8 years are called the foundation phase. During this time, your portfolio growth is going to feel very slow. And that's because you're doing the bulk of the work by putting money into it. This part requires some patience. But if you stay disciplined, you're going to hit the next phase, the acceleration phase. This is where things get exciting because your accumulated investment returns finally start to equal or even surpass the physical cash that you're adding from your job. Your money is officially pulling its own weight. And that leads to the final 3 years, the explosive expansion phase. This is where compounding takes complete center stage. Your total wealth appears to expand just overnight because the market returns are what's doing the bulk of the work. Even when the market experiences severe drops, like what we saw during the 2008 financial crisis or the bear market in 2022, history shows that broad market index funds smooth out that short-term volatility and reward people who simply stay the course. But to get this engine running properly, you don't want to just pick random numbers for you to achieve, like $1 million. Instead, you want to calculate your own financial independence number, aka FI. You find this by taking your annual living expenses and multiplying them by 25. So let's say your living expenses were $5,000 a month. Then your FI number would be $1.5 million. So suddenly, the goal isn't some vague net worth number. It's a specific asset designed to fit you. Once you know your financial independence number, you're going to need a repeatable system to help you reach it without overthinking every paycheck. Personally, I treat my investing like a monthly bill, where the money automatically goes before I even get a chance to really look at it. I start by maxing out a retirement plan, which comes with a match. So if your company offers any kind of match, this is where most advice recommends that you put money. Get that match. Once I secure it, I also contribute to a Roth IRA, which is an incredible tool because it allows your money to grow tax-free. And when you pull it out in retirement, you don't owe the government a single cent. And then after I max out my Roth for the year, which usually happens around the fall, I start contributing to a brokerage account. The same money that I would put towards the Roth, I would put now in a brokerage account. This helped me build over $500,000 in investments in 8 years, using nothing but my 9-to-5 income. So no, wealth building does not require a C-suite job or starting a business. What is actually required is setting a goal, automating the process, and having the patience to let the stock market do its thing. If you want to map out this entire journey and see what the real path to financial freedom looks like for women, you should watch this video right here, where I break down the exact timeline and help you plan your next major money transition. I'll see you over there.